Building good security habits. Social networks are a little like nightclubs. Looks can sometimes be deceiving. Be careful when you're interacting with people online. Who they appear to be and who they actually are obviously can be different. So word to the wise here. Keep track of the applications you've authorized. Clean them out periodically. When you give an application permission to publish to Twitter or to Facebook, for example, on your behalf, it's important that you trust that app. And I realize that's easier to say than it is to do, but the basic best practice here is look for and keep track of the applications that you're using. And if you're not using an application, just unhook it. You can always add it back later. And then finally, if you get a link from someone you don't know or a link from a friend that looks a little bit odd, one of your friends sends you something that says, hey, I can't believe what they're saying about you, or did you see yourself in this funny video? Just reply and ask them before opening that. Just say, hey, did you send me this? Chances are what they're going to come back with is, no, actually my account got hacked. Don't open that video. Robots don't typically answer emails like that, whereas your friends actually will, and they'll tell you what's going on, and then you can just delete that email and avoid the same embarrassing email from people who are downstream of you. In all of the tools, in general, you're going to be either authenticating or creating accounts that use some of your underlying social profiles. For example, your Twitter profile is very often used as a starting point. And I want to talk about password strength for just a minute and managing your applications. If you, from time to time, jump into Twitter, as I've indicated here, jump into the settings and then look at your connections. What you want to do is you want to keep track of the applications that you've signed up for. If there's applications there that you're not using anymore, just get rid of them. You can always re-authenticate those applications, but each one of those applications represents a potential compromise point for your Twitter presence. So if you're not actively using it, and it's not something to be overly paranoid about, it is something to have a healthy degree of paranoia though, because it is serious when your account is hacked or otherwise compromised. So a quick note about password strength here. It's amazing how many people still use passwords like password or Twitter or LinkedIn or their name or their dog's name or something that they think nobody's going to guess. And of course, it's the first thing that anybody who knows them is going to try if they're up to no good. And using any kind of an attack, very easy to discover these. A little bit better is to employ some different characters and maybe style the word so that you remember the word, but you understand the word by looking at it. But it greatly expands the number of characters and therefore the complexity of an attack. For example, substituting A's with 4's or using upper and lower case, throwing some special characters, the dots, the exclamation points, the pounds into your password. That can be a good enhancement to security. But the best approach by far is to do something like a phrase or other mnemonic that means something to you along the way we went. For example, if that phrase is easy for you to remember, for lack of a password, go I. Make up some kind of a phrase like that. Keep that phrase in your head, use that as your password, and it is virtually unbreakable. Two unrelated words, starry basketball. Unrelated words strung together in a sentence, and you now have literally just millions and millions and hundreds of millions of combinations, way more than any attacker is likely to find. Now, if you circumvent this by using a phrase like my strong password, well, that's probably not going to be successful in the long term. But if there's some kind of a phrase, maybe a person that you knew or a place that you went or an experience that you had, and some phrase that's always sort of top of mind, get a couple of those, use one set on your personal accounts and one set on your business accounts, and enjoy your sleep at night because your accounts are pretty safe at that point. Mentioned deleting the unneeded apps. That is a great best practice. From time to time, just go through and clean those out and do this across all the places where you create connections. Finally, effective security practices obviously applies to all social media tools. Anything that you do, from your access passwords to the passwords on your mobile phone, a little bit of forethought in protecting these, and you will never be the person who's sending out the tweet that says, hey, my account just got hacked. Sorry about all the stuff that you just received. As a marketer, you've got better things to do. So our takeaways. Know who you're connecting with and which apps you've authorized for use with your social media accounts. Keep track of the apps that you're currently using. If you're not using an application, delete it, unhook it. You can always add it back again later. Be smart. Come-ons generally look like come-ons. If things are too good to be true, or if something looks funny, or it just is a little bit out of character for a friend of yours to send you a hilarious video with you in it, especially if you don't remember anybody filming anything recently. Word to the wise, be a little bit cautious with that. Check it out. And then finally, above all, maintain strong passwords or use a trusted password service. Change your passwords periodically. You are literally your best defense against your account being hacked.